the right chocolatey depth to make it. Well, I have one more sip of this. It's a bit cold. This is some quality coffee. Let me know if you'd like to know exactly what it is. Right, music. I've been listening to a fantastic album, Andrea Bocelli. And if you don't know who Andrea Bocelli is, well, time to start Googling and buying music, because he is one of the greats. He's an Italian opera singer, but straddles different strands of different varieties of music. He sings pop music, did a bit of a sort of Pavarotti act, and went into lots of different kinds of music. Anyway, he's blind, and not that really makes a difference. Maybe that makes him a better singer. Who knows? Right then, do you want to see some news? Do you want to see something very cool? I'm hoping you do, because I would like right now to present to you the first in a series of how many? 7 things that are going to come out in the coming days. In fact, if you're watching this right now, give me a couple of those likes or thumbs, whatever, depending on where you're watching this, because I'd like to present to you today short stories in Brazilian Portuguese by Ollie Richards. Read for pleasure at your level and learn Brazilian Portuguese the fun way. Now, if you've been following my book releases over the years, you will know that Portuguese has been a notable absence, but we fixed it. The cover designer has done a fantastic job. Look at that. The beach. Is that Copacabana or Ipanema? I can't remember. I think it's Ipanema. I'm getting my. I haven't been in Brazil since I haven't been in Rio since 2005, so I'm starting to lose my Rio geography a little bit. Anyway, it's available now. It is for A2 to B1 level learners. So if you're learning Brazilian Portuguese, go and grab yourself a copy of this. You can go to Amazon, search for short stories in Brazilian Portuguese. You can go to my Amazon store as well, which is what is it? It's iwillteachyoualanguage.com/Amazon. iwillteachyoualanguage.com/Amazon, and you can see that and many others. Every day this week, I'm going to be showing you a new book in a new language that's coming out, and we have some surprising languages, some languages which you maybe thought that I wouldn't come out with, but I am, because I am committed, I am dedicated to bringing out these in as many languages as is humanly possible, and you should hold me to account for that. So, hello everybody, good morning from a very sunny London. It's a beautiful day, a bit cold though. I'm going to be heading out into the big wide world in a bit, but I thought I'd pop on here, finish off my coffee, and answer a question from Mr. John Paul. And John Paul is talking about subtitles with Netflix, and he says, Ollie, what? Actually, he doesn't ask me; he asks the Facebook group. But I'm gonna appropriate this. This is what kind of appropriation would this be? I'm appropriating this question, John Paul. And John Paul says, what do people think about using Netflix subtitles in their target language to what shows they enjoy and know well in their own first language? Jonathan says, is Dutch coming? Yes, it is. Stay tuned this week, Jonathan. And there might be a surprise in store. So, John Paul wants to know, should I watch Netflix shows in my mother tongue but using subtitles in the target language? For example, I'm watching Friends with Russian subtitles. He says, are these translations the best thing? Are they close to the actual words or meaning in English, or are they completely idiomatic? And basically, when you're reading subtitles, how close are they to what you're listening to? Like what, And then he finishes, is it reliable, or is it just better to always watch shows in your target language with target language subtitles? Right. I wrote an article on this years ago called, Are You Wasting Your Time Watching Foreign Language Movies? Because I think, actually, most of the time, people are wasting their time watching TV and movies in foreign languages for a variety of reasons. I will get into all of that now, but do you think, okay, let's condense this. Is it a good idea to watch TV in your mother tongue with subtitles in your target language? And the answer is no. No, it's not. And the reason is because you are simply reading. What you're doing in that case is you are reading. That's the activity. Don't confuse it with watching or listening or anything else. You are reading. And all you're doing is you're reading the subtitles on the screen. And the only thing that the movie is adding to that is it's helping you with your comprehension. Okay? So you could argue that by watching that movie in your mother tongue while reading, that you're kind of getting some help from watching it in your mother tongue, right? So which is helping you read in your target language. But really, what's the point? I mean, if reading is what you want to do, then if reading is what you want to do, then you should get yourself a copy of one of these. Is what you should do. But failing that, you should actually read. Do an activity which is designed for and geared towards reading, right? Now, one of the problems with watching movies is that everything's happening really quickly. Right, you've got a huge amount of content. You're going from one thing to the next. It's not a good medium for reading. It's stuff's flashing up on your screen. Like this is a medium for reading, right? Because you've got huge amounts of text actually there. You can really get stuck into the content. You can skip forward. You can skip back. You can look at longer sentences. So really, regardless of whether the accuracy of these subtitles on Netflix, which I can't really speak to, although I would say they're unlikely to be that good. Because they never are, or at least they're unlikely to be very faithful to what you're actually hearing. Reading is best done with reading materials, articles, books, blog posts, and things like that. And so, if your reply then is, well, yeah, but listening in my mother tongue actually helps me to understand what I'm reading. Well, in that case, read stuff that's more suitable to your level. With extensive reading, when you're reading for pleasure, that the benefit comes from consuming lots and lots of content. Because over time, stuff sinks in. Like right now, for example, I'm reading a lot in Japanese, and it's kind of hard. I'm reading about things like the JAL airline bankruptcy and startup founders' stories. I mean, it's a bunch of complicated stuff. And I'm sort of having to remind myself that the real benefit where I really learn is in the mass consumption of content. Because you can, even if you skip over 80% of the stuff in there that you don't know, there's still a lot going in, right? And so that's the way to really get the advantage from reading. And so in this particular scenario, John Paul, you're not doing anything optimally. You're kind of just taking a whole bunch of compromises. You're listening in your mother tongue, which is a waste of time. You're reading in your target language, but in a very kind of truncated, non-natural way. So I wouldn't bother doing it really. I think the key to making these activities more profitable is to actually do it at the right level for you. That's why these books like my books of short stories, for example, that are geared towards your actual level is what you want to look for, because then you can start doing that reading activity optimally at a level that's good for you. And then you can do things like add the audio on top. Which would again be an example for watching that same Netflix show in your target language with the audio and the subtitles on in your target language. That's where you're getting to a more kind of effective activity. But then you've got the question of level, right? Is it too hard? In which case it's probably not such a good use of time, and that's where books of short stories and things come in. Anyway, that is my assessment of the situation. Hope that was helpful for you. So, in summary, don't watch movies in your mother tongue with subtitles in the target language. That's my commandment for the day. Once again, if you'd like to see these books and more, go to Amazon, search for Ollie Richards short stories. They'll pop up. I will be back every day this week, bar none, to show you a new cover of a new book, because we've got a lot coming out. So stay tuned, and please leave a comment. Let me know where you are writing from, and give me a like and a heart and whatever it is that you can do on these live videos. Thank you for watching. Muito obrigado. Espero que vocês curtem os novos livros.